Hi, I'm Robin.
Hi, I'm Bill.
Welcome to Not the Retirement Show. And today we're chatting about why there's no such thing as a retirement expert. I love this topic. Let's start off from the beginning here. A lot of us have heard that there are online retirement calculators on the internet, and a lot of us have tried using one. And you start off, it just asks you a couple little things. What's your name? What's your age? And then it starts asking more complicated things about what do you earn? You know, how much savings do you have? Do you have any investments? And then you hit the magic button eventually, and it's supposedly going to tell you how much money you need to have saved to live your current lifestyle in retirement. Okay, I did it, and it said that I was going to need about $6 million. Now, I don't know about you all, but I certainly don't have that. I probably won't have anything close to that. And that experience has happened to an awful lot of people. And what happens at that moment? Do you panic and say, oh, there's no way I'm ever going to be able to retire, my life is over? Or do you look at it and go, well, there's just no point in worrying about all of this. I'll have to sort it out when I get there. I think a lot of people, Bill, fall into that second category where they know they've saved some money, they know they're contributing to some kind of a company pension plan, and you know what, they'll just work it all out when they get there. Is that a good idea?
Well, I think financially, you've got to have a look at it, your overall situation financially, both today, tomorrow, and for the rest of your life. You've got to do that. But your top question was about retirement experts. And I mean, I think you're meaning in that situation, you're going to go see like a financial planner, perhaps, or a retirement planner. And there's millions of them around the world, and we've seen a few of them. I wouldn't necessarily classify ourselves as retirement planners as such, because I think we tend to be more pragmatic. I think the problem I find with, I'm going to say, so-called retirement experts is that they all say the same thing.
That's true.
It's health, it's money, it's activity, what are you going to do? And, insurance and things like that.
Buy a mutual fund, get a 401k, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong in that. I mean, it's all standard. It's standard practice. The point I'm getting to is not that that's wrong. That's perfectly correct. But if you're paying good money to go to a retirement expert, you need to get something that applies to you. It applies in your situation. So therefore, you should be able to not only say, this is what I would like to do in my retirement years, but you would want to be able to say, these are my personal circumstances. These are my personal likes and dislikes. These are my family commitments. This is my health situation. As we get older, we're going to get, perhaps less healthy and stuff like that. So there's no one size fits all. It just doesn't happen that way. And I think that's the biggest problem that we see, because we do a lot of research in the retirement world around the world. And I think that's the biggest thing that I see, is that there is that sort of implication that, if I give you a plan, it will be good for you. Well, it might be, but there is no one size fits all. What's good for one may not be good for another. And in fact, most likely isn't good.
I agree. Everybody's retirement life, the third phase of their life, is unique. Only you know what you need. Only you know what you want to get out of the third phase of your life. And no outside expert is going to be able to tell you that. Those are only things that you can work on and uncover for yourself. So going back to the beginning of this video, if using a retirement calculator and not getting an answer that you liked has put you off thinking about the whole of your retirement life, you're doing yourself a disservice, because you really do need to think and to plan about what this third phase of your life is going to be like for you.
Well, I think there's also time sensitivity. What I mean by time sensitivity, a couple of things. First and foremost, when are you doing this retirement plan? So in other words, are you doing it a year before you're scheduled to retire, or are you doing it 10 years before, or 15 years, 20 years before you are scheduled to retire? That's a big factor, because anything can happen. Let's go 10 years. 10 years before you say, okay, I'm going to put a retirement plan together. Sounds good. Yeah, good idea. But in that 10 years, a lot of things can change because you're still working. You're still, perhaps in the same house, in the same location, as a family, and maybe the family's still growing up and all this sort of thing. So that 10 years could be quite critical, both in terms of lifestyle, but also in financial saving, money, savings, investments, things like that. So that's a time sensitivity issue, because if you only do it 1 year ahead of when you're scheduled to retire, you're not giving yourself much time to build up, retirement fund. I mean, ideally, you don't want to be doing it after you retire, but, some people do that, because the time sensitivity, factor is that, and this goes back to speaking with a retirement expert. A retirement expert at best can discuss your situation as it is today. There's no retirement expert in the world can give you a retirement plan that's going to last 10, 15, 20 years ahead from your date of retirement. It doesn't happen. It's not possible. So many things can happen in that time frame. So we go back to the same point of it is personal, it's unique, and it changes. That aspect of retirement planning is the crucial part of it. So, don't be fooled into thinking that you've got a retirement plan at any point in the time sensitivity calendar, and that's going to last you for the rest of your life. Not going to happen.
And also, don't make the mistake of thinking that because you have a lot of money, that what we're saying doesn't apply to you. I actually did a retirement lifestyle planning workshop with a bunch of stockbrokers, and they around the table could each say exactly how much their investment portfolio was worth down to the penny today, but not one of them could tell you how much income on a monthly basis that portfolio was going to generate in retirement. Therefore, they couldn't say whether even they had sufficient funds to maintain the lifestyle that they were used to having with all the fancy stuff. At the end of the day, only you know at the core of your being what will make you happy in life. And rather than looking at what your retirement income is going to be and saying, well, that's just never going to be what I thought it was going to be. That's never going to be as much as I need or as much as I think I need. Therefore, I can't be happy. You really need to turn that inside out and say, okay, this is what I'm looking at. Now, how can I plan the happiest life for me?
I think the retirement plan point, though, is that you need one. You do need to start it, as soon as you can, as soon as it's practical. You're never going to get it right. Certainly in the early stages, the time sensitivity, 10 years before, whatever sort of thing, you're not going to get it right. But it's going to give you an idea. And the idea will help you formulate your plans, etc., as you're moving towards a retirement, be that financial, or be that where you live, or be that what you're going to do with your life. So the sooner the better is probably the big takeaway, but also the uniqueness. You are unique. Your personal lifestyle, your likes and your dislikes, etc., they are unique to you. And frankly, nobody knows that like you do. That's what you have to spin off and leverage off of, is what do I like, what do I want to do, what will I want to do in 5, 10, 15, 20 years time, what will I want to do for the rest of my life? But that will change. And I know I always say the same thing, you can change your mind. You can always change your mind. You can change your plan, okay? But you are the decision maker. You're the person that decides whether or not you need to change, want to change, or just for the love of it, yeah, let me do something else. But retirement planning is crucial to your lifestyle as you move forward, and most especially going into your retirement years.
So become an expert on what is right for you. Well, if you're still watching, we must have said something helpful or insightful. So please subscribe to our channel and we'll chat with you again soon.